Hey, welcome. We all want to get our kids ready for the future, right? But what if the way we think about being tech ready is already, well, completely out of date? Today, we're diving into a new framework for education, one designed for a world that isn't just using AI, but is being fundamentally reshaped by it. You see kids flying around on tablets and apps, and you think, okay, they're set, they're digital natives. But is that kind of fluency really enough for an AI-powered world? According to the framework we're looking at today, the answer is a hard no. It's not even in the same ballpark. So this means we have to define a whole new kind of readiness, one that's actually built for this new algorithmic age. For years, the goal was what we called digital literacy, basically knowing how to use tools like a computer to go find information. But AI readiness? That's a completely different game. It's about learning how to work with an active thinking system, a collaborator. The goal isn't just to be a user anymore, it's to be a partner. And listen, the stakes here are incredibly high. The report gives this stark warning. The next big gap in our society won't be about who has a device. It's going to be a cognitive divide, separating those who can think and work effectively with AI from those who can't. This isn't just about skills, it's a massive issue of equity. So how do we actually build this new capacity? Well, the framework suggests a foundation built on two core pillars. Okay, here they are. First, augmenting human intellect, and second, demystifying the machine. Now, the key thing to get here is that these two aren't separate subjects. They have to be developed together, side by side, for a student to be truly AI ready. So that first pillar, and this might surprise you, is all about the non-technical stuff. It's about us. As AI starts to handle more routine tasks, our most valuable skills become things like critical thinking, creative problem solving, and, this is a big one, spotting the biases in what AI gives you. These are the skills AI can't just replicate, but it can make them more powerful if we know how to direct it. And this calls for a huge mindset shift in the classroom. Students have to learn to see AI not as a magic answer box, but as a discussion partner. It's a tool you use to brainstorm with, to test your ideas against, to even argue with. The goal isn't to get the answer fast, it's to deepen your own thinking along the way. Now, the second pillar is all about demystifying the machine. And let's be clear, this is not about turning every kid into a programmer. Not at all. It's about giving them a conceptual toolkit so they get the basic idea of what an algorithm is, that AI learns from data, how these things generally work. It's really just about knowing what's going on under the hood. Okay, that sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in a real school? The framework lays out this really smart blueprint for building these skills step by step, all the way from kindergarten to graduation. The secret sauce here is something called a spiraled curriculum. You don't just drop an AI class on kids in 10th grade. No, instead, you introduce these big ideas in a super simple, even playful way when they're little. And then you circle back to those same ideas again and again, each time with a bit more depth as they get older. And you can see how this progression works. In elementary school, it could be a totally unplugged activity, like having kids write out step-by-step instructions for making a sandwich. Hey, guess what? That's an algorithm. Then by middle school, maybe they're training a simple AI model to recognize different facial expressions. And by high school, they're using AI as a seriously sophisticated partner for doing research. But look, just having the right skills and a good curriculum isn't the whole story. How do we make sure these incredibly powerful tools are used responsibly? Well, the framework gives us some simple but powerful rules to always keep humans in the loop. A central rule for pretty much any assignment is what they call the HAIH loop. It stands for human, AI, human. So every project starts with a human asking a question. Then, sure, AI can be used as a tool in the middle, but, and this is non-negotiable, it must end with human reflection, human editing, and human ownership. The student is always in charge of the final product, not the machine. And the traffic light model is this really practical way for teachers to set clear expectations. So a test on basic knowledge? That's a red light, totally AI-free zone. Brainstorming ideas for an essay? That's a yellow light. AI can be a helpful tool. A big, complex creative project? That could be a green light, where the whole point is to see how well a student can direct the AI as a creative partner. It just makes the boundaries clear for everyone. And really, all of this comes back to one simple, guiding idea. Don't get distracted by the shiny new tech. Start with the learning. The first question a teacher should ask is always, what is the educational goal here? And only after you know the answer to that, do you ask, okay, is there a tool that can help us get there? The teaching has to drive the technology, never the other way around. So we end up right back where we started, with this huge question. This isn't really about preparing kids for a world full of machines. It's about cultivating the human skills, the wisdom, and the ethical backbone to steer those machines wisely. The ultimate goal here is to make sure AI becomes a tool that amplifies the very best parts of our own intelligence. That's the challenge. And you know what? That's the opportunity in front of all of us.